Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is my reaction to the Liverpool versus Nottingham Forest game on Saturday. Not gonna lie, I'm filming this on Monday because I was so annoyed about the game and I thought I need a couple of days to process what sort of happened. I was that annoyed about the game that I put my Christmas tree up as soon as the game ended. Even though it's November still, just to blank out everything. So what I'm going to do, like I normally do, I'm going to go through what happened and then give you my thoughts at the end. In my prediction, I predicted that Liverpool would win 2-1, but it ended up being 3-0 to Nottingham Forest in the end. Isak started the game. I wouldn't have done that. In my preview I said I would bring him on in the last like half an hour, 25 minutes, but Slot didn't do that, and not gonna lie, he was mostly invisible the whole game. And my midfield selection that I thought was gonna happen sort of did. Curtis Jones and Szoboszlai sort of kept swapping right back positions, and then one kept going in midfield, if you know what I mean. But it's predominantly Szoboszlai at right back. The first 25 minutes, 20 minutes, we were actually quite good. McAllister should have scored a goal, and so should have Kirkes. And then after about the 25th minute, 30th minute, it all went downhill when Forest scored their first goal. And I know you're all going to say that I'm being bitter and biased, but this goal shouldn't have stood. Literally, Van Dijk had a goal disallowed the other week for literally the same thing, and somehow this goal stood. I can't remember who the Forest player was, but he was literally standing right in front of Alisson, and they allowed that goal. And then they disallowed the goal that Van Dijk scored the other week. I just don't understand. So that shouldn't have stood, in my opinion. I think all of them goals should be goals, but if you disallow the one against Van Dijk, you have to disallow this one. If anything, he was more in front of the goalkeeper, the Nottingham Forest player, this game than what Robertson was the other week. So I just don't understand that at all. And then they got a goal disallowed. I'm not going to lie, apparently it's handball. I don't think this goal was handball at all. I thought it hit the chest and sort of this area here. So that isn't handball. I think, in my opinion, the referees knew that they made a bad decision with Nottingham Forest's first goal by giving it, so they thought, we're not going to give the apparent handball goal, if that makes sense. It was like they was trying to rectify in the game. That's what I think anyway. I don't actually know, but that's my opinion on that. Could be completely wrong on that, but all I'd say is that first goal shouldn't have stood. So that's all I've got to say in the first half, to be honest. We was good for 30 minutes, and then it all went to shit as soon as they scored the first goal. I think that should be disallowed because Van Dijk's was disallowed. But then they scored the second goal that got disallowed, that I don't think, in my opinion, was a handball. I think it just hit the chest, like I said, just hit here. So I don't think that's a handball. So now, going into the second half, Nottingham Forest literally scored a goal within 40 seconds of the first half. And this is where you was like, oh my God. Literally, like, Sean Dyche, as soon as he gets like a 1-0, a 2-0 lead, he just defends for his life. And you know, with them sort of defensive teams, as soon as they go 1-2-0 up, they ain't going to try and get a goal unless it's on the counter-attack, and then they're just going to defend for the rest of the game, try and get a clean sheet, and that's what they did. And then Ekatike come on for Konate, so I felt like Slot was going to up front. And then Isak got taken off for Chiesa. I still don't understand why Chiesa doesn't start games at all. I just don't know what it is. Either Slot doesn't fancy him, or it's because of his injuries. He's scared to start him just in case if he does get injured. I still don't know what it is. But Chiesa come on and he created a couple of chances. He is always lively when he comes on. And I just think that he deserves to start these games, if you know what I mean. And then Robertson come on for Kirkes. I would have started Robertson anyway because Kirkes has been shaky literally this whole season. This is what I don't understand with Slot. You know that Kirkes is shaky, but then you start him when Robertson's played. We've played a little bit better. When he come on, he was it was better than Kirk's, obviously, but I just don't understand sometimes what Slot does. And then Gibbs White scored the third goal, and when it got to that point, I was like, oh, we ain't gonna come back from this, especially with the Sean Dyche team. Even at 2-0, I didn't think we was gonna come back, but at 3-0 against a Sean Dyche team, this just ain't gonna happen, if you know what I mean. We literally, set from Kirk's, McAllister and Salah in the first half, we barely created anything in this game again. I just don't know what's happening, and I see a lot of people on social media saying Slot out. I'm still slotting now, but if we don't beat West Ham, PSV and Sunderland, I think our next game's PSV, and then it's West Ham, and then it's Sunderland. If we don't at least get 2 wins and a draw at least, I'm gonna have questions about Slot. I've already got a little bit of questions about him anyway, but I'm still slotting because there's been so many players that have come in, so he needs to integrate them into the team. But if we don't beat them 3 teams, like I said, then I feel like there is going to be, I am going to start questioning it, if you know what I mean. I'm not Slot out, like I said, just yet, but I think it will get to a point after them games, if we've only won 1 or we haven't won any of them, then I'm going to have massive questions about it. We are down to 11th place in the Premier League at this moment in time, 11th or 12th. I know we are not winning the league, but with the money we spent in the summer, we should be getting in the top 4. I'm not going to lie, with the money we spent, we should be winning the league, but I know that it's not going to happen. But the money we spent, we need to get into the Champions League for next season. Our only hope of winning anything this season is the Champions League. We have been a little bit better in the Champions League, so maybe that's our hope. We've lost 7 out of 8 Premier League games, or is it 8 out of 9? I'm not quite sure, one of them, but either as bad as each other. So that's all I've got to say for this reaction. An absolute abysmal performance. First 30 minutes was okay. We missed quite a lot of chances with Kirk's, McAllister and Salah, but Nottingham Forest, they deserved to win the game. I am not saying they didn't deserve to win the game, but also Nottingham Forest's first goal should have been disallowed, because Van Dijk's goal got disallowed and is literally the same. But they also got their handball goal disallowed, even though I don't think it was handball. So either way, they won the game and they deserve to win the game. So please let me know in the comments what you thought of this game, and please can we get up to 450 subscribers? I would really appreciate it. And also I will be doing a reaction and preview to the West Ham game and also the Sunderland game. So remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.